Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today. So today, I'm going to be giving you my review of the Optimum, all right, the no rinse. Actually, it's, Optimum Hyperfoam no rinse. Now, what makes this product unique? Number one, you're supposed to be able to use it in a foam cannon. It's a rinseless wash that you're supposed to be able to use in a foam cannon. And then, let's see, foam cannon, foam sprayer, okay, and as a rinseless wash. So in the bucket too. And now this really sounds appealing to those of you guys who maybe like a hybrid wash. You know, your car's a little bit dirtier, you want to foam it on first, let it dwell, rinse, and then go in your wash process. And rather than having a couple different products, you only need one, okay? The actual Hyperfoam. So it sounds really good, and well, let's get to it because, just to let you know, in the gallon size like this, it is $59.99. I believe it's $21.99 for the 32 ounce, and then they also have an 8 ounce if you want to give it a try. I don't even know how much that is, I didn't look at it, but they do have an 8 ounce. So, I believe there's multiple retailers now who actually have it in stock. I'll have those linked below. I think maybe detailed image, but I'm not positive. So, anyway, so basically the way that you do this, okay, in fact, let me show you. In a sprayer, now this one is, I got this on Cars with Keith's recommendation, and this thing's actually fantastic, but 2 ounces in your foam sprayer per 32 ounces of water, okay? In a foam cannon, 4 ounces and 32 ounces of water, or in your rinseless bucket, 1 ounce per 2 gallons. So your traditional rinseless wash dilution in the US here for gallons. Now, what I did, and I'm going to show you in a minute here, I did a bunch of testing against Feynlab V3 because in my testing earlier this spring, I found that the Feynlab V3 actually foamed a lot in the bucket, and so I wanted to test it against this to see which one produced better foam. And I'm going to show you those videos right now, and then I will be, I'll show you, actually there's a couple videos because I tested it with this against their head-to-head, against the foam, and then I did the foam cannon head-to-head, and then I may have done, I did it on the wash too, on the side. But what I want to do is, after testing this, I found a really big downside, and I want to show you that, so we'll be right back after you watch those videos. All right, guys, so I got the new Optimum foam, no rinse, foam, Hyperfoam, whatever. I'm not even sure what it's called. I'll have that in a minute. But what I have in here right now, this is just a mix of the Feynlab V3 because it actually does foam in the bucket quite a bit. And when I added I had 2 ounces to 32 ounces of water. And I just want you to see how this foams with this Amazon sprayer. And then we're going to switch over to the Optimum and see if it foams more. So you can see, I mean, it's a wet foam. It's not like shaving cream foam or anything. It's more of a wet foam. But the Feynlab V3, 2 ounces per 32 ounces, it does foam a good bit. So let's try the Optimum. All right, I'm back with the Optimum Hyperfoam no rinse. So this is a rinseless wash that you can foam. And it's been probably 5 minutes. You could see the foam that's come down off the side from the Feynlab, and well, let's see how the Optimum, how the Optimum Hyperfoam works. Now the mix is the same, so it's 2 ounces of product per 32 ounces of water. So let's see how the Hyperfoam, if it performs the same or maybe better. All right, so the first thing I noticed, there's still some watery suds, at least in the, out of the electric foamer. And I'm gonna also try out of a foam cannon too, because you mix 4 ounces and 32 ounces of water in the foam cannon. So we're gonna try foam cannon with this stuff just to try it. But out of the electric foamer, it's still watery foam, but this is definitely thicker. I've noticed this is, well, not definitely thicker, it's slightly thicker. But this stuff smells way better. Like that Feynlab V3, it really, the smell is like, I don't even know what the smell is. It's not a good smell. But this stuff, like straight out, or not this, but this stuff, all right? Straight out of here, if you like that, like, if you remember that Luden's like cherry cough drop scent, that's what this reminds me of. It's definitely like a cherry cough drop scent. I really like that scent. I mean, like, you didn't even have to have a cough to want to eat those when I was a kid. And so I really like them. But anyway, and you could see the foam actually does last a while. Now I'm in the shade, but it's like 75 outside, maybe 80. And it seems to be lasting quite a while on the panel. It's been a couple minutes now. So, and that's what's really cool is, you could foam this, and it's actually a rinseless wash. So, and 2 ounces per 32, you could probably do most of your car. I mean, if you mix, this one's a pretty big one, but you're gonna go through a lot of products, so you're gonna want to buy the gallon. I'm sure if you start foaming, you're going to want to buy the gallon, not the small one. So anyway, that's the Hyperfoam no rinse with the electric sprayer. And we're going to try it with the foam cannon next. All right, guys. So, again, in fact, just a minute ago, you saw me actually use that, the electric foamer. But now we want to test with the foam cannon, the Optimum, the new Hyperfoam. And anyway, so we got our door panel here again, and I'm going to be, I want to clean it, number one. So I'm just gonna wash it down really quick, because the other day I did not do anything after I foamed it. All I did was leave the foam there, and in fact that stuff was crazy, because the next day I still had foam on the ground. So that should tell you something. In fact, look at this. It actually just cleaned that marking paint off the door. That's crazy. So anyway, and it does foam a fair amount in the bucket. Just heads up, fair warning. So anyway, let's do that. And then I'm just gonna dry, because we want to do our test on a dry panel. All right, there we go. And these little amphibian things work great for drying little panels. So anyway, the instructions call for 4 ounces. And what we're gonna do, so the instructions on the Hyperfoam calls for 4 ounces of product per 32 ounces in the foam cannon. So what I did is I put, because I'm not gonna use that much, I put 2 ounces of Feynlab V3, because that's what we're testing this against. This stuff foams like crazy. I put 2 ounces of Feynlab V3 in with 14 ounces of water. So that gives us 16 ounces, so half of 32. And then I did the same, all right, 2 ounces into my foam cannon. And these are Chemex foam cannons, the stars and the stripes. They are both, they're equal cannons, so I could just unhook one, put it right on the other one, and be good with that. So anyway, we have a dry panel. Let's get to it. All right, so the first one we're gonna do is the Feynlab V3. Okay, here we go. Let's see how much foam we can get out of the Feynlab. All right, guys, that is pretty crazy. That V3, look at this. Let me bring it closer. The first bit of it, actually, the first pass went on, and nothing, like literally, it just stuck on there. And it wasn't until I made the second pass that it actually started dripping. This thing has quite a bit of foam. So that Feynlab V3 for a rinseless puts out a lot of foam. So let's get, you can see that, I mean, it's a fair amount. It's sheeting off. I just got this from the body shop down the street, so there's nothing on here. Whatever maybe the previous owner had on there. But anyway, let's, we'll get this rinsed off, dried off, and then we'll go with the Optimum. All right, guys, so now we have the Optimum Hyper Foam no rinse. Let's see how this works. Nope. That is weird. All right, guys, I don't know what to tell you. In a foam cannon, all right, in the foam cannon, the Optimum doesn't foam nearly as much as it does out of the electric foamer. I'm really like, this is boggling my mind or my imagination. It's hardly any foam at all, and I had 2 ounces in here, 60 mils. So let me show you. Let me switch back to the Feynlab. Look at that. Feynlab Optimum. That's crazy. In fact, just so you know that we're not screwing up playing any games here, let's do this. All right. We're going to dump that out. I'm going to do 2 ounces. 2 ounces. Again. All right, now let me fill the, let's see here. 14 ounces is just over this mark. All right, so I'm going to fill this up. So it's a little bit too much. All right, so that's about 14 ounces. And we're going to take our 2 ounces, pour it in there. All right. I'll put that on the table here. And where is my top? Screw that on there. Swish it around. All right. Let's see. Guys, they're Hyperfoam, not good in foam cannon. Feynlab. All right, the Feynlab. Damn, I can't even get this connected again. There we go. Look at this. Guys, if you want a foaming rinseless, get the Feynlab V3. This is like normal soap. There you have it. The Feynlab, or not the Feynlab, the Optimum Hyperfoam no rinse in our foam tests. The in the foam, the electric foamer, The Optimum and the Feynlab were almost equal. The Optimum actually worked really good, and I did the 32 ounces. I think it was 1 or 2 to 30 ounce, whatever the instructions say in the video earlier. But in a foam cannon, this Optimum freaking sucks, dude. Like, this sucks. It's like water. So anyway, let's wash the car with it and see what happens. Okay guys, now that you've seen those videos, you can honestly see, you know, why in the foam cannon, like, it's actual trash. You know, you saw me, I re-diluted it, I put more in the foam cannon. It just does not perform as well as the Feynlab V3. Hardly any foam. And if you watch, in fact, EC Details actually did a video and his results were literally identically the same to mine. It didn't produce a lot of foam. And as you saw though, the Feynlab V3 actually produced a lot of foam. In fact, really good foam. So if you're doing a hybrid wash and you want to foam first, I would go, and you don't want to use an electric sprayer, I would go with the Feynlab. But what I want to show you is the other reason why I'm not going to recommend this product. And now, just to say, you know, the smell is great in this stuff, and I'm telling you right now, I don't recommend it. Okay, the smell is great, but it's comparable to the Feynlab V3, except the Feynlab V3 works better in the foam cannon. I don't think that the cherry scent is worth not being able to work in the foam cannon, to be honest. You know, it is what it is, but I want to show you the other thing, the other downside of even using this as a rinseless, even with the electric foamer. And so, well, let's get into it here. Okay guys, so we have our Optimum, and in my foam sprayer, I have 2 ounces, okay, according to dilution, 2 ounces and 32 ounces of water, and then 1 ounce in 32 ounces in the bucket. Now, this literally was just from pouring water into the bucket. And like, this stuff foams, you can see, like, that just foams like crazy. And literally, if I do, like, just doing this, if I leave this like this foam will be here 2 days from now if I just set this bucket aside. It lasts forever. All right, so anyway, we got that in the bucket. And then for our drying towel, I'm just gonna use your standard 1100 GSM twist loop drying towel. And I think this is important, and you're gonna see why in a minute. Okay, so I'm just gonna do half the hood because this is just a quick demonstration, and I'm gonna show you why I really don't care for this stuff. So, oh, there we go. So, number one, it actually, in the foam sprayer, okay, it foams really good. All right, so we're just gonna do that really quick. All right. We're covering the car just like we would if we were going to do a foam step. It does go through the product, but now here's the thing. Now that we have this here, let's go through the wash. All right, so we have our wash media, and we're gonna go through our wash. So, you know, here we go. Now, mind you, we had foam on the car, okay, so we're going through our wash process, our wash step. All right, so we're going through. I'm gonna flip the sponge. We're gonna come back, so I flip the sponge, we're gonna get the rest of this. All right, so now, theoretically, we have a nice clean car. So now what do? We foamed on, we just did our contact wash with the rinseless. Now, normally what you do after a rinseless wash, you need to dry it off. So let's do that. There you go, guys. And this is why, right there, is why I dislike this product. All right. I'm literally just smearing suds on the surface. That's why I don't like it. And that's why I'm not going to recommend it to anybody, to be honest with you, unless you are going to use it just to dwell and then you're going to rinse it with some other product. So now you can understand why I'm going to tell you not to buy this stuff. For me, you know, it smells good. It works really good. But, you know, and here's the thing. Actually, no, I'm not going to say don't buy it. It has a very limited use, okay? And for me, this is how I'm going to use it because I still have a lot of the gallon left. 3/4 of the gallon, actually. I'm going to use it as a pre-treat this winter on the side of the vehicle. I'm going to foam it on, but then I'm going to rinse it with my rinseless that's in another, like, keg, whatever, my keg washer, wash keg, whatever you want to call it. Or just my sprayer. I'm going to rinse that foam off, but the foam does dwell a long time out of the sprayer, but I just don't like it for a contact wash at all. It just leaves too many suds in the bucket, too much foam in the bucket, and that's why I give this a do not recommend, except in that very limited circumstance when you need that to be able to dwell on the side of the car. So anyway, guys, I hope you appreciated this video. I really don't like to call products garbage, but in my opinion, you know, with the such limited use, the such limited scope of what what's really applicable to this, you know, it doesn't work in a foam cannon, to be honest. It's just pure in a foam cannon to me, at the correct dilution ratio. As a foaming thing, a pre-spray in the electric sprayer, it worked really good, but you need to rinse it before you go in your contact wash. Otherwise, you're literally left with foamy streaks all over your car, and nobody wants that. And you know, even in the cracks, there's literally foam everywhere in every crack and crevice where it ran down, and nobody needs that crap. So give it a shot, but use it with your electric sprayer because it really doesn't work well for anything else. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and hopefully this video maybe saved you a little bit of money. Bye.